Good morning, and thank you very much to all of you who are watching my video and take part in my presentation that most of the time focus about strategy, points that we may or may not like to improve, and discussion and experience that I either have out of my job at Cornell or even out of my consultancy business around South and Central America. Now, here's a talk today that focuses on executive compensation. And executive compensation isn't as easy as it might think or might sound. It's not simply about paying a bonus because somebody does a good job. So a couple of days ago, I had a discussion with a company or an owner of a company who have 4 operations in Mexico and 1 in Nicaragua and about to expand their business even further to Central America. And the discussion we had was, how do we best address bonus payments? What is, in my view, the right amount of bonus to be paid? And what is my idea about on how to do that best? So here's my take. And please, everybody is welcome to ask questions if they didn't really understood what I was trying to say or what I'm trying to say here. I try to keep it very simple. But the strategy, as simple as it is, needs really some time from your end to sit down and to define the key touch points that you see as senior executive or as owner of a company as core value proposition that you like to have developed and embedded in your company. Meaning to say, what you embrace should be part of the executive compensation. Now, let's leave up front the normal salary pay. How do we get executives focused on additional input, on areas that matter to you rather than anybody else? Now, here's my take. There are different ways of paying bonuses. In some countries here in Central and South America, 1 month's bonus, first of all, is mandatory. You have to pay, you like it or you don't. You do great or you don't do great. This is just the way of life. So let's keep that one out because we can't deny it. But then comes the one which is up to us as senior manager or owners of a company. And here we do have a say if you want to make it stick. Now, I don't say that you shouldn't pay a person who does a great job in your view additional compensation. All I'm questioning is the way we are doing it. Is it simply about paying 2, 3, 4, 5 months additional compensation? Or can we do it in a smart way that allows us, while paying the bonus, to drive our own beliefs, our own viewpoint, and our own touch points that matter to us as owner? And yes, we can. Here is how we do it. You have to have, first of all, a meeting with either all of your owners or with yourself and clarify what are your key value proposition that really matter to you. Is it being a green company? Is it being a revenue company, revenue focused? Is it cost focused? Are you a company with a value proposition that is focusing on your needs of your clients or your guests? In other words, client-centric or customer-centric? What are your values? You need to define them. And once you have defined them, you then put value proposition toward it. Now, to make it very simple in this specific presentation, for missing more time and having it rather easy to understand, I focus on 5 value propositions, and I assume to each one of them 20% as a value that can be translated in calculating your compensation. And I assume only 1 month's payment for the sake of making the conversation here. What I would like you to do is define the 5 value proposition. Let's say revenue flow, occupancy for hotels, guest satisfaction, green environment, and RevPAR, just of a matter of having 5 points. So, with pointing out to your executive, to the GM, the managing director, what it is that matters to you and how you are willing to pay him additional compensation, you make it very clear to the person, look, my friend, You want to 2 or 1 month's additional pay? You got to fulfill those 5 value propositions. And you have to analyze if it is really what the guy is doing. So you put over the year a monthly evaluation. Online reputation means you cherish your guests. Green environmental strategy, innovation projects is that one. How is revenue flow working? How is your occupancy? And how is your RevPAR? Each one of these are measurable. The only one you may have a little problem with to make it really stick is the green value proposition, being environmental friendly. However, it's very simple. Either the operation does something about it, and that can be measured, or it does not. Let's assume you are ready to make the analysis after 1 year of work to see how much additional bonus you're going to pay. What you do have to do is to look at the performance value that each of the 5 categories have delivered. So you take the $10,000 salary, for example, and divide it by 5 different areas, each one representing $2,000. And then it's up to you to decide, was it met completely, in full? Was it in line with the budget, with the forecast that was expected? Was it in line with the reputation management that we should have? Did it improve? Did it stagnate? Or did it actually sink? And keeping these values and these performance values and benchmark systems in place, you can then allocate in percentage for each of the 5 categories some part of the 2,000. You calculate it all together, and then you either have a full score, which means $10,000 additional bonus, or you don't have it. But you can sit down and explain to the executive each time why you think he only deserves so much and where do you feel he failed. Or he went overboard and he delivered in every single one and you will be happy to pay the full amount of compensation. Now, this was a very simple example. I'm pretty sure that each one of us in his own company has many more marks that he likes to address. And I'm also sure that some companies pay 2-3 bonus additionally. But here's the take. Once you started to look by this way, your management team will refocus. If you tell a management team, look, all I care is about occupancy. I want to have the highest occupancy on the marketplace. The only thing they need to do is to drop the rate to get there. Very simple. There's absolutely no magic. And you cannot talk about losing money because your game was to get the highest occupancy. But if you take in combination occupancy, ADR, length of stay, and RevPAR, for example, you fine-tune the argument. You said, wait a minute, I want a high occupancy, realistically high. But I also would like to see a relatively realistically high revenue flow in general. So you define it. You put it in a systematic benchmark proposition that can be adapted into a percentage. The same goes for online reputation. Now let's only mention TripAdvisor. If the year prior your position was number 10 on TripAdvisor, that's your baseline. You then fix that baseline is 10. 10 is what you have. So you were happy with 10, so 10 is your 50% mark, so to say. You drop lower, oops, then it goes down with the compensation. But if he goes from 10 to 5, he did definitely a great job in online reputation. And there are many benchmarks out there. Guest satisfaction proves to be perfect, or at least much better than before. Entonces, it's up to you to say, perfect, I like it. You did what you were asked to do, and you delivered the excellent score. Therefore, I do pay you the full part. You see, and we can try this out in cost. We can play it out in quality assurance, how your clients react to the food or the beds and so forth. You can lay it out in innovation. Now, we know what you're doing or what you were doing so far, good or bad. But what's your future? Where do you like to see your property in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years from now? And what are the steps that you're taking together with your executive management team to get there? internal system. If that matters to you, then you have to make it part of the executive compensation package. So, I hope I made myself clear here. It was very simple, very straightforward. But if you look deeper into it, I can guarantee you, you will find a value proposition that really makes sense. Because all of a sudden, it's not simply about occupancy, or simply about ADR, or simply about RevPAR. It's about a holistic approach that drives the argument. A holistic approach that will drive a systematic strategy to get there. And everybody will jump on board. Why? Because they realize there's no more free bonus. If I don't meet my expectations that my owner has in me, or my senior management has in me, I will simply not get paid. End of the story. Think about it. I hope you liked my presentation. We took 2 days to define in this specific company how to make the executive compensation package stick. I think we developed a very interesting, challenging strategy. Is it going to be a walk in the park for the senior management? No, it's going to be challenging, but that's the whole idea of a compensation package. It cannot be like what the big companies show us, that the senior management really hits the ground in Volkswagen, almost destroys the company, almost brings the company to bankruptcy, and has still the entitlement, oh, we're going to get our bonus. We're going to fire 5,000 employees, or maybe more. And we screwed up the company, but who cares? We have the right to get the bonus. That, in my view, is incorrect. It sends the wrong message. It points out that you can do incorrect things and getting away with it. And therefore, I am absolutely against these kind of ways where executive compensation is going to be paid simply because we're going to pay it. It cannot be that way. Okay, thank you very much. And I'm very happy if you watch my video. Please give me feedback, honest feedback, what you think about it. And let's see, maybe we can develop an even better strategy together. Thank you very much and hope to see you one day soon in Econized Executive Education Program. Good day.